But the idea of 2 out of 3 is that we're trying to look at 3 main points of evidence, okay? And the more of these evidence points that come to the same conclusion or point us in the same direction, the better our edge. And just so you know, these are the 3 that I use. A lot of our clients, bring other pieces of evidence to the table. The key here is that there's no single holy grail piece of evidence. There's no indicator that on its own is going to give you incredibly high probability situations. What you want to do is you want to look at the evidence you have and kind of mix it in your mixing bowl and see what comes up. And that's the idea here. In other words, the more pieces of evidence that line up, the better. For example, if you have 1 out of 3 pieces of evidence, I equate that to riding a unicycle, right? I mean, you can do it, and when you pull it off, it looks neat, just like when someone rides a unicycle, or the guy that, at our mall, there's a guy that rides a unicycle and juggles like swords that are on fire. I mean, it looks really great when you do it, but I'll tell you, there's a lot of danger that's involved with that. It takes a lot of practice, and so it's not for the faint of heart, but you can do it. It's a risky trade, right? Whereas if you have 2 out of 3 evidence, you have a good edge. You have, a safer trade. I equate that to riding a bicycle on 2 wheels. Of course, there's still some danger anytime you're riding a bike. It's not a 100% success rate. You can, wipe out, but you have a pretty stable base and a pretty safe type of a trade. And then you have a 3 out of 3 evidence points. Again, there's never a guarantee, but it's the highest edge, safest trade that you can take. And it's like riding a 3-wheeled bike. I mean, you can still crash. There's still danger. You're not always going to win on a trade, to kind of take this analogy into the trading realm, but you're a lot more stable than even if you have 2 wheels, right?